Congress ends months-long budget impasse after ratifying the 2019 proposed national budget. A lawmaker accuses Budget Secretary Diokno of attempting to bribe congressmen to keep silent over the alleged insertions in the 2019 proposed budget. And Meralco announces increase in power rates this month. Good evening. Congress has finally ratified the 3.75 trillion peso proposed budget, but still some lawmakers have expressed their opposition to the approval of the General Appropriations Bill. Nel Maribohok is at the Senate to tell us why live. Nel, go ahead. Yes, Nel.
Diego, after several deadlocks, the bicameral conference committee panel finally approved early this afternoon the 2019 proposed budget. After the BICAM approval, both houses of Congress resumed their session today and immediately ratified the 3.75 trillion peso proposed budget. But some senators opposed the approval of the budget. Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon said the Senate did not have sufficient time to review the General Appropriations Bill submitted by the House of Representatives and the reconciled version of the conference committee. Senator Drilon said giving his vote to the budget is like signing a blank check. Also, the minority leader denied reports that senators will get $3 billion in pork allocation. Meanwhile, Senator Panfilo Lacson once again divulged in his privileged speech the questionable pork insertions in the budget and the alleged kickbacks or commissions that lawmakers will get from the pork allocations.
A valid source had a word in our ears that the 75 billion pesos had been earlier peddled to contractors across the country, region by region, at a 20% commission per project cost. That would be a sum of 15 billion pesos worth of taxpayers' money to the pockets of its proponents and cohorts.
Number 88.
Conversely, Senate Committee on Finance Chairperson Senator Loren Legarda insisted in her sponsorship speech that there are no pork barrel in the budget, contrary to what Senator Lacson revealed. After the ratification of the 2019 budget, it is expected that President Rodrigo Duterte will sign the bill next week. But some lawmakers hope that some of the timeline or the line items of the budget, particularly the alleged pork insertions, will be vetoed by the President. Diego?
Thank you. Nel Maribohok reporting live from the Senate. A lawmaker has accused Budget Secretary Diokno of attempting to bribe congressmen to keep silent over the alleged insertions in the 2019 proposed budget. Diokno believed the allegation while Malacañang insisted that members of President Rodrigo Duterte's cabinet do not engage in bribery. Rosalie Cos tells us why.
House Appropriations Committee Chairman Rolando Andaya Jr. has alleged that Budget Secretary Diokno dangled a 40 billion peso bribe to members of the House of Representatives. Andaya said this is to buy the lawmakers' cooperation on the 75 billion peso questionable insertions made in the proposed 2019 national budget. But Diokno belied the accusation, branding it as false, baseless, and just another of Andaya's wild allegations. Malacañang meanwhile asserted that the members of the cabinet of President Rodrigo Duterte do not resort to bribery. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles also said that the president still trusts Diokno.
We in the cabinet, certainly, and in the administration of President Duterte, we do not resort to things like bribing. So, mabigat yung mga akusasyon. I hope it can be addressed immediately.
Malacañang also assured the public that the national budget to be approved by the president will be pork barrel-free. This is after Senator Panfilo Lacson appealed to the chief executive to use his line item veto power in the 2019 appropriations to read the budget of alleged pork insertions.
Everything legal here, because obviously the last thing we would want anyone to do is to question it in the Supreme Court. And we want this budget clean, and we want this budget implemented.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
While power rates are set to increase this month, the group Bayan Muna urges the Supreme Court to immediately resolve their petition for a refund after the Malacañang shutdown. May Bermudez tells us why.
A 50 centavo per kilowatt-hour increase in power rate will be implemented by the Manila Electric Company or Meralco this month. This means an additional 114 pesos for households consuming 200 kilowatt-hour, 171 pesos for consumers of 300 kilowatt-hour, and 285 pesos for those who are using 500 kilowatt-hour. Meralco explains that the additional charge is due to the increase in generation charge. Meanwhile, the group Bayan Muna stormed to the Supreme Court to ask for the resolution of their 2013 petition seeking to refund an alleged overcharging of customers after the Malacañang gas plant was shut down. A temporary restraining order or TRO was issued by the SC in 2013 and was later on declared by the High Court as indefinite. But Bayan Muna says despite this, Meralco still continuously implemented power rate hikes in the succeeding years.
Pinakamataas yun sa history. Never pa yun nangyaring kung itotal mo yun halos 10 piso per kilowatt hour, dagdag singil. So dodoble ang binabayaran na monthly bill ng lahat ng consumers doon. Humingi kami ng accounting kasi marami ang nagbayad bago na-issue ang TRO. Hanggang ngayon, gusto namin makita kung na-refund na nga ba yun. Billions din yun.
Meantime, Meralco assures their customers that they have been always fair in implementing charges.
At tayo naman sinisikap natin na makuha yung pinaka-reasonabling rate, pinakamababang rates mula sa ating mga suppliers. So, yun nangyari naman kasi noong 2013 was an unusual situation kung saan kasabay-sabay talaga halos lahat ng shutdown no? Unexpected. Kaya tumaas yung presyo sa merkado. But after that incident, wala na hong nangyaring ganyan.
The power company also adds majority of customers already got their refunds pursuant to the court order.
More than 90% have already been refunded. Na ibalik na ho yan sa mga customers na Meralco. Ang nalalabi na lang ho yung tinatawag na terminated accounts. Meron po kasing hindi pa nagki-claim. So gusto naman natin na kung sino man talagang may-ari nito, sa kanila talaga mapunta yung refund.
May Bermudez, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
The Commission on Elections insists that the 1.9 billion peso fund they have for teachers who will serve in the 2019 midterm elections will not be enough for their honoraria. The poll body further reiterates that the proposal for COMELEC to just ask for the additional fund from the contingency fund of the government is not easy. Aiko Miguel explains why.
The Commission on Elections or COMELEC admits that using the government's contingency fund to augment the funding have to pay for teachers' honoraria in the May national and local elections is not an easy solution. The poll body is studying the said proposal, especially that the situation of teachers who will voluntarily serve as Board of Election Inspectors is at stake.
It's not a simple matter of calling someone up and saying, "Huy, pingin pera." No, there has to be a process to be followed for that, and that might take some time on its own.
COMELEC appeals to the Bicameral Conference Committee to restore the proposed 3.2 billion peso budget for the teachers' honoraria. The poll body argues that the 1.9 billion pesos they have now is not enough to pay for the teacher service.
Very important that the teachers are given what is due them, and that the process for giving them what is due them follows the regular course of things, which is to say, a budget properly passed.
Yesterday, Senator Coco Pimentel said there will be no problem on COMELEC's budget should the national budget get reenacted or not. In case the 2019 national budget is not reenacted, there will still be fund for the teachers' honoraria.
It is for the conduct of elections. Union line. So I think the COMELEC chairman and the NBank are both empowered to fill up the details. Basta the money will be there, it's more than enough.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Lawyer Glenn Chong vows to push for election reforms and to continue his advocacy of proving allegations of election fraud if he wins a Senate seat in the upcoming midterm elections. Rosalie Cos tells us why.
Former Biliran District Representative and election reform advocate, Attorney Glenn Chong, claimed he was just forced to run as a senator in the May midterm elections. In an exclusive interview in the program Get It Straight with Daniel Razon, Chong said he does not trust the country's automated election system being implemented by the Commission on Elections. However, he decided to use the election platform to reveal and stop the alleged irregularities and fraudulent activities by what he tagged as syndicates of election.
So
Yes,
talagang
sir.
ang kampanya nyo ay gibain ang COMELEC, ganun ba?
Ang Smartmatic, sir.
Ang Smartmatic.
Yes. Kick them out.
So Smartmatic lang.
O kasi hindi naman natin pwedeng i-kick out ang COMELEC because it's a constitutional body. We can reform the Commission on Elections, but we cannot reform an incorrigible Smartmatic. So kailangan si Smartmatic has to be thrown out of this country for good, and then we reform the Commission on Elections.
Chong is a vocal critic of Smartmatic. He claimed irregularities in the automated election system since the company teamed up with COMELEC. The senatorial aspirant previously said he was compelled to study the automated election system after allegedly falling victim of rigged elections in 2010 and 2013 polls. Chong also appealed to his fellow senatorial candidates to emulate his plans to prevent fraud in the upcoming elections. He also challenged the COMELEC and Smartmatic not to manipulate the results of the 2019 midterm elections.
1 month before the elections, I'll show to the COMELEC and Smartmatic exactly what number of votes I have in these particular precincts. Pag bumaba yung boto ko na na inilabas ng makina, doon sa pinakita ko sa kanila, I take full responsibility. O-orderan ko yung mga tao, buksan nyo yung balota, sabihin nyo, order ko yan, ako ang magpapakulong, buksan nyo yan at bilangin nyo yung boto. In other words, huhulihin ko sila on the day of the elections if they will attempt to cheat me.
Chong clarified he does not want people to resort to revolution in case there will be vote rigging. However, he will not allow electoral fraud to continue in the country.
If it's not within the law, it's against the law.
Yes.
Okay. So the next action will be.
But sir,
something.
Kuya Daniel, the supreme law is the will of the people. The people can always rewrite the Constitution, can always rewrite the law.
Chong also expressed confidence that he will win the senatorial race if the election results will not be manipulated. Rosa Licozo, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Singing hopeful Ana Marie Guincisana proves she has what it takes to win in the Wish Covery Season 2. The singer and the song, Mirasol Abogadil, tells us why.
Wish Covery Season 2 Grand Finalist Ana Marie Guincisana serenaded her kababayans in Bayugan City, Agusan del Sur during her homecoming concert. Ana will represent Camp Veni Saturno to the first and biggest online singing competition in the Philippines, set to be held on February 26 at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. The singing gem says reaching the finals of Wish Covery competition and holding her first homecoming concert still feels surreal.
Kasi first time ko, hindi ko to in-expect na mangyayari po tong lahat. Kasi parang it's just a dream. Yung wish po is parang sila po yung nag-ano sa pangarap ko na wala po talagang imposible. O sila po yung tumupad ng dream ko.
In the final battle, Wish Covery finalists will breathe life to the original songs created by the prolific songwriters and hitmakers participating this season. Ana believes she will win the battle with the help and support of her family, friends, and the people of Bayugan.
Isa siya sa mga estudyanteng nag-represent sa amin.
Suportahan namin siya all the way, sir, hanggang ma-reach na kanyang goals. Campaigning, power voting, power viewing, announce all the students that we will help Ana.
Hitmaker Venny Saturno likewise believes that Ana will be named as this season's grand winner, citing massive improvements in her singing style and stage presence.
Grabe ang improvements niya. Sobra nag-level up and sabi ko nga kanina, she's ready for the grand finals. Yan. So, siguro tuloy-tuloy yung coaching ko, hindi ko siya hihintuan until dumating yung grand finals.
After her hometown tour, Ana will jump into rehearsals in preparation for the much-awaited final battle. The entry of each camp will be uploaded on the Wish 107.5 YouTube channel, with the power viewing commencing on February 18 at 12 noon until February 25. Mirasol Abogadil, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Authorities urge the public to remain vigilant against a new scheme of salisigang. DNA sample of the suspect in Holoblast set for testing in Camp Crame.
It's really a blessing kasi nagsama-sama ulit. Parang reunion ulit with the players, the former players. Tapos, ang kalaban pa yung rival mo, that yung nung panahon.
And PBA legends gear up for a historic rival teams exhibition game on February 17. And thank you for keeping me company in the first part of Y News. More reasons behind the stories with William Thio after this quick break. I'm Angelo Castro III. Good evening.
Welcome back to Y News. We pick up to where Angelo Castro III left off. I am William Thio, and here are the headlines. Health Department intensifies the government's immunization program after cases of measles infection rise in several regions. A U.S. Defense Department report identifies Holoblast mastermind Hatib Hadjan Sawajaan as ISIS acting emir in the Philippines. And videos and images captured by the UNTV underwater drone and Diwata 1 satellite show the extent of challenges facing the efforts in rehabilitating Manila Bay. The number of measles cases recorded in San Lazaro Hospital has reached 1,600 since January 2019. Meanwhile, the hospital has recorded 59 fatalities since the first month of the year. Mai Bermudez will tell us why.
The decision of some parents not to have their children measles immunized had taken its toll on their kids amid the ongoing outbreak in the country. And as Health Secretary Francisco Duque III visited the San Lazaro Hospital earlier today, he found out that the death rate due to measles in the said hospital has reached 59 since January 2019. Data shows that more than 1,600 individuals had been admitted in San Lazaro Hospital due to the contagious disease since the first month of the year. With this, Secretary Duque calls on parents to protect their children and not to fear having their children immunized.
Ako po nakikiusap sa ating po mga magulang na wag po natin kalimutan ang kahalagahan ng bakuna at ito po ay talagang sadyang napakamahalaga para po maprotektahan ang kalusugan ng inyo pong mga anak. Sayang naman po itong mga bakunang ito kung hindi po natin magagamit.
The Health Secretary added, this is a sad occurrence because since last year, the decrease in number of vaccinated patients had been seen.
Very frustrated indeed because we were warning that this was going to happen, that the collateral damage to the DOH immunization program was going to be apparent. And this is what we see now. In fact, last year, we already knew that it was leading to an unusually low coverage of our fully immunized child.
And due to the congestion of patients in the hospital, the contagious disease is spreading fast, making it also faster for those staying in the hospital to contract the disease. The DOH, for its part, is intensifying its Back to Bakuna campaign to encourage children to undergo the government's mass immunization program. Mai Bermudez, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
A U.S. Department of Defense report has identified Hatib Hadjan Sawadjaan as an Abu Sayyaf leader who allegedly masterminded the twin blast in Jolo Sulu as the acting emir of the Islamic State in the Philippines. Although the military has yet to validate this information, it confirmed reports about the presence of foreign terrorists in Mindanao. Dante Amento will tell us why.
Abu Sayyaf sub-unit leader Hatib Hadjan Sawadjaan is believed to be the Islamic State militant's acting emir in the Philippines, according to a U.S. Department of Defense report published in the last quarter of 2018. Sawadjaan, whom authorities tagged as the mastermind in the bombings at the cathedral in Jolo Sulu last January 27, has been reportedly ordained as an acting emir after swearing allegiance to ISIS. The U.S. Defense Department report also stated that the ISIS Philippines remains active in Mindanao with approximately 300 to 500 fighters, but its activities remain limited to the Sulu archipelago. The report also noted that the terror group was unable to expand its areas of operations and influence in the last quarter of 2018 due to weakening ISIS operations worldwide. Although the information has yet to be validated, the Armed Forces of the Philippines is not surprised that Sawadjaan is considered an emir of the ISIS in the Philippines. The military noted that terrorist groups in Mindanao are competing over the title of ISIS emir because of funding.
Malaking pera kasi pinag-uusapan dyan. It's all about resources, it's all about power. It's not about what you believe in. Always for the recognition. Kaya sila gumagawa ng kaguluhan.
The military also confirmed reports about the presence of foreign terrorists in Mindanao. They are particularly hiding in Sulu, which is a known bailiwick of the Abu Sayyaf terrorist group.
2017 pa. Tuloy-tuloy yan at minamanmanan natin lahat ang mga activities. That's why hindi tayo basta nagpapapasok ng mga foreigner.
Pero kumpirmado na rin ho at nilinaw na rin ni SND na merong mahigit 10 foreigner ang nakapasok sa ating bansa gamit yung backdoor at ang ilan dito ay pamilyang Arabo ay nasa Sulu na ngayon.
Authorities said some of the foreign terrorists in Mindanao were killed during the Marawi siege while others remained in Sulu to teach the recruits the different ways of making bombs and staging of violent acts. The military assures it is doing all it can to thwart terrorism by patrolling the country's borders under the existing tripartite maritime agreement with Indonesia and Malaysia and working with other nations for security and intelligence sharing. Authorities, however, admit that they could not fully bar these lawless elements from entering the country due to its vast waters.
Mga foreigner dyan na nakakalikot baya yung tinatawag natin backdoor. Sa Tawi-Tawi, sa Sulu, sa Basilan, posible rin yun na nakakalusot sila dyan. Hindi naman sinasabi natin lahat ng foreigner ay terorista.
Authorities urge the residents in Tawi-Tawi, Sulu, and Basilan to help in suppressing terrorism by immediately reporting any suspicious persons or activities in their area. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue, Zamboanga City.
The DNA sample and some body parts of the suspected suicide bomber that were recovered from the blast site in Jolo Sulu are now at the Philippine National Police Crime Laboratory. PNP Crime Laboratory DNA Division Chief Superintendent Francis Supe Jr. says the samples include parts from 2 pairs of feet, bone samples, buccal swabs, and tissues from the alleged bombers. The DNA samples from the buccal swabs will be matched against the DNA patterns of the victims' relatives. However, the PNP Crime Lab fears the possibility of not being able to generate a DNA profile in case the samples have decomposed or have been exposed to heat.
I could not say much kasi ma'am, hindi ko talaga na-appreciate kung paano kinolect. But kung ang aming SOCO personnel po sa field, yung kumolekta nan, dahil trained sila, then I can vouch na na-protectionan nila yan at na-kolekta ng maayos.
Nevertheless, they are prioritizing the tests and assured to do everything that will help clear whether the alleged suicide bombers are foreigners or not. In some cases, being skeptic could be useful, especially when it comes to dealing with strangers. Mon Hokson will tell us why in the special report.
Have you experienced a scenario like this? Men knocking at the front of your house and offering a service.
Tao po! Tao po!
Ma, may tao sa labas. Pakitigdan nga.
Okay. Ano pong kailangan nila?
Magandang umaga, ma'am. Taga Meralco po kami. Checkin lang po namin yung linya niyo po kasi tumataas po yung bill niyo po. Meron po kaming dalang power saver dito.
Because you are convinced, you let them inside your home even though you did not know them well.
Sige po, kung yan ang makakabuti sa pagbaba ng aming Meralco bill. Sige po, tuloy po kayo.
Salamat po.
And because you had been too trusting, the strangers have taken advantage of your negligence.
Sige nga po, pakitignan natin niyo. Baka dahil dyan kaya mataas ang kuryente namin, no? Pero sandali lang po, niluluto po kasi ako doon. Tignan ko lang sandali.
The officials of Barangay Concepcion 2 in Marikina received reports like this. That is why they issued a circular to warn their residents. Based on the circular, there are men knocking on houses pretending to be employees of Meralco, Maynilad or Manila Water. They are offering a power saver as part of a supposed project of the government. The circular also stated that these men are robbers, taking advantage to steal precious things in your house.
To warn other residents about the possibility of them being entered, we issued a circular to all our residents here. Our punong barangay posted on our Facebook. At least that will cover a more wider area.
CCTV cameras installed around the barangay also help deter and prevent criminal acts. After they issued the circular, they have not received any reports of men going around the community. Meralco clarified that they don't have employees offering power savers or any service that they will not advise to their customers.
Yeah, at saka reminder lang gusto lang namin pabatid, hindi kami pumapasok o yung mga tauhan namin hindi papasok sa loob ng bahay ninyo. Ang responsibilidad namin ay hanggang doon lang po sa metro. So, kung meron magpapanggap, sasabihin, may sisilipin po sa loob ng inyong bahay, chichikin po yung appliances ninyo o kung anuman, hindi po namin ginagawa yan. So, malamang sa hindi, medyo mag-iingat po tayo pag may mga ganyang modus.
Authorities advised the public not to let strangers inside their homes.
Po yun.
Ma'am, taga-Meralco po kami. Checkin lang po namin yung connection nyo.
Ganun po ba? May dala po ba kayong ID?
Ay ma'am, di po namin dala
Ay, pasensya na po hindi po ako nagpapapasok ng hindi ko kilala. Saka wala po yung asawa ko Baka may masabi yung mga kapitbahay. Tsaka wala naman pong abiso ang Meralco na may darating na mag-inspect ngayon. Pasensya na po kayo.
Make sure that gates and doors are locked. Tell everyone in the house to not let strangers in if you have not given any permission. Don't believe in enticing words of strangers and always be mindful of your safety. Remember, it is always better to be safe than sorry. Mon Hokson, UNTV, News and Rescue.
The government of South Korea has launched an investigation into containers of rubbish which were unlawfully exported to the Philippines and recently returned. According to South Korea's Environment Ministry, 51 containers carrying 1,200 tons of trash were illegally exported to Cagayan de Oro port in Mindanao last year and returned to Pyeongtaek port on Sunday. The shipments were declared as plastic synthetic flakes when it actually contained wood, glass, and electronic waste as well as plastic. Director of the government-affiliated Han River Basin Environmental Office, Lee Jong-min, said authorities had investigated the waste exporting company and will work towards preventing such an incident from happening again. A remaining 5,100 tons of wrongfully exported waste, which is still in Mindanao, will also be shipped back to South Korea, the ministry added. The waste reduction project, dubbed as Plastic Palit Bigas or plastic waste in exchange for rice, gains ground as more people join the initiative. Let's find out why from Eileen Cerudo.
Some people say that there is cash in the trash. But for some residents from different villages across the country, there is a kilogram of rice for every kilo of plastic waste. This is after several local governments launched the Plastic to Bigas or plastic waste in exchange for rice project aimed at reducing the volume of plastic waste from the barangay level. Among the areas implementing the initiative is Curimao, Ilocos Norte. According to Municipal Agriculturist Erickson Biag, the collected plastic waste are brought to the Materials Recovery Facility for shredding. This will then be mixed with other materials to turn it into eco-friendly paving stones. The Tartaria village in Silang, Cavite also receives praises from social media users for their initiative to collect plastic waste from residents in exchange for a kilogram of rice. This is aside from the cleanup drives that they are conducting in the village as part of their waste reduction advocacy. Also joining the initiative is Barangay Ibaba Bagong Bayan in Pagbilao, Quezon, where residents get to claim a kilogram of rice for bringing 3 plastic bottles weighing 500 to 700 grams. The village is using shredded plastic waste to produce eco-bricks used in building fences and other facilities. Village officials also conduct a weekly cleanup drive to collect plastics to maintain cleanliness and achieve their target of making their area a zero-waste village. Eileen Cerudo, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Philippine basketball fans are sure to have a great time in the upcoming exhibition game of PBA Legends Foundation Incorporated, dubbed as the return of the rivals at the Smart Araneta Coliseum on February 17. Asher Cadapan Jr. tells us why.
Philippine basketball fans will once again get to see the hardcore heroes who kept the hearts of Filipinos burning for basketball for decades. Dubbed as the return of the rivals, PBA Legends of the 90s will face off anew in an exhibition game slated on February 17 at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. The game will feature the prominent arch rivals in the PBA history, the San Miguel Beer versus Alaska Milk, and the Barangay Ginebra against the Pure Foods Hot Dogs.
It's really nice to be back on the court again with the players na nakakalaban namin before, and even yung mga teammates namin na hindi na kami naglaro for a long time, so magsasama-sama ulit kami. And it's really nice to be a part of this project na pinaunahan ni Kuya Daniel.
It's really a blessing kasi nagsama-sama ulit, parang reunion ulit with the players, the former players. Tapos ang kalaban pa yung rival mo nung panahon. So talagang excited and talagang nagpe-prepare lahat for this big event.
PBA legends participating in the game have been preparing for their big reunion, promising to bring fun and excitement to the viewers.
Yung fulfillment, kasi ito yung passion ng mga PBA legends, no? Yung makabalik ulit, makapag-perform, makita ng fans na we can still play. Sobra kaming thankful.
Sa ngayon, nagsasabi sila na we're not out there to win, pero pagdating sa court niyan, walang magpapatalo niyan, especially na may matatanggap yung winning team. I think the competitive side of the players will come out eventually pagdating namin sa court.
Nung panahon ng basketball, halos lahat galing probinsya. Tapos hindi na ganun ka-high-tech din yung paggamot ng mga injury. So, galing probinsya, pinapagpag lang, okay na.
But beyond the excitement and entertainment, the return of the Rivals project is also essential, as this is aimed at giving assistance to former professional basketball players who are sick or have medical concerns. The said basketball charity event is a project of the Samahan ng mga dating profesional na basketballista sa Pilipinas Foundation Incorporated in cooperation with the Philippine Basketball Association or PBA and UNTV. The idea of forming the group started in April 2015, wherein an exhibition game was staged between several PBA legends and the UNTV Cup All-Stars.
Well, we're so thankful kay Kuya Daniel. Without him, without UNTV, this wouldn't be possible. In fact, ang napakalaki ng utang na loob namin sa kanya kasi siyang nag-spearhead o nag-push sa amin to form this foundation 2 years ago. And then he even donated 1 million for the seed money. Saludo ko kay Kuya Daniel. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Kuya. We owe you big time.
Sana naman sa mga darating na ibang legends ay sana gawin uli ni Mr. Daniel tong mabuting project para sa mga kapwa natin manlalaro din.
The players are inviting the public to support the return of the Rivals exhibition game, which will also be aired in UNTV.
Sa lahat po ng mga fanatic at naniniwala pa po na kaya pa pong maglaro ng mga players ng Return of the Rivals, supportahan niyo pong muli kami this coming February 17 at Araneta Coliseum.
Sa February 17, may laro yung mga legends. Sana supportahan niyo. Kita-kita tayo sa Araneta.
On February 17, 2019 na po, Return of the Rivals. Please watch on UNTV channel and please watch us sa Araneta Coliseum. See you and thank you sa suporta niyo po. God bless you.
Asher Cadapan Jr., UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Up next on Y News. Leaked files reveal Iran's 30-year crackdown on journalists. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro launches a petition drive against U.S. interference. And a teenager builds his own robotic prosthetic arm using Lego bricks. More reasons behind the stories when Y News returns.